Hello everybody and welcome to my video for the 300 comic page. Now, recently, Jay asked a question about why do I read comics? So, I wanted to answer that in the form of a video because I felt that, you know what, I could write out a 50 million word essay, no one will read it, but you know what, there's a lot of reasons why and they all deserve to be said. A brief history on my introduction to comic books. I actually didn't grow up with them. I grew up with Sonic the Hedgehog and Simpsons comics as a child. I eventually then left it for years. I didn't really get back into comics until I was around 18, 19. I'd seen V for Vendetta as a kid and Watchmen, but never really got into it. So, over the years, I gradually picked up an interest, I tried picking up a few odd series, but nothing really quite grasped with me. Nothing really made me go, damn, this is what I want to read, until a very good friend of mine got me into Saga. Now, Saga for me was a turning point with comics, in that it was the first series I was like, that's it, I need all of them. So Saga got me collecting comics, and, there's a lot of things that can be said about it. It's an expensive habit and it has been cost me a lot, but you know what? I read comics because I love the ideas, I love the creativity, the versatility of the medium and the styles. I love the beauty, I love the aesthetic, I love the feel, I love the emotions conveyed. A lot of traditional superhero comics, for me, personally, don't give me any sense of feeling towards them. Superheroes for me are very detached, and I didn't really enjoy them. But when I started reading stories like Sandman, Saga, Sex Criminals, Rat Queens, all of these stories were stories first. They were just not... They were stories but in a different medium, which was a very beautiful thing, and I loved that. I loved stories growing up. I suffer from dyslexia, and reading for me at times can be a bit difficult. I do enjoy reading a good book. I love reading a book, but it can be hard. And graphic novels and comics have a way of giving me that satisfaction of reading with less difficulty, if that's the right word, but it's a medium that conveys more. A picture says 1,000 words, but an image, a panel, can show so much. There's a certain feeling that you get when you open up a comic book and you have a full page spread. The most recent one that got me like that was Death of Wolverine. When you open Death of Wolverine's last page and you get that full image, it's just that feeling. No words need to be said. A feeling is conveyed by it. A feeling and a medium that just gives you that chills, that makes you go, that was good. Just that feeling of satisfaction that comes from reading something good. When I'm anxious, I read comics to escape. As you'll see on my channel, there are a lot of videos on anxiety, which I do at the moment, and I personally find that it's a great way for me to just stop thinking about what I'm worried about. It really helps me out. I think the main reason I read comics is it expands. It's a passion. It's unending. My eyes is we're living in a golden age. I read comics not for the heroes, but for the people. I read the stories about the people. I read the styles. I like the variants. Master Plasty was a recent classic for me because I absolutely loved his style. His style and his way is that he says there is no difference in genre. There is no... When he looks at comics, he does not see genre, he does not see types, he just sees comic. And his art reflects that, It can go from Akira-style printing and drawings to very anime-esque, to also very comic book story elements, and very westernized, and I love it. There's pop culture references, It's a medley of everything I love about comics is Master Plasty. If I can recommend one thing you read to expand your mind. The story is good, but what really captures it for me is the art style, because I've never seen anything quite like it, where it's such a blend of all these different ideas. This is why I love comics, because in what other medium can you do something like that and have it so massively distributed? Film, it's a lot harder to do it with. The internet can be hard to do it with. Personally, it can be hard to do it with. But in comics, you can do what you want. With someone like Image, you can have a story and tell a story. You don't have to conform. You don't have to bend it to these ideas. As long as it doesn't break certain rules, like, it isn't too much, it's fine. You know, look at what we got coming out in Image at the moment. We got Outcast, which is like really horror. Witches, which is super horror. We got Sex Criminals. We've got Saga. We've got so much diversity, and I love the diversity. You know, we've got so much good stuff. This is why I read comics now. This is why this hobby for me hasn't dried up in a few days or a few months. It continues to grow and to change and become so much more than it ever was initially. So that's why I read comics. That's why I love comics, and I'm so passionate about it, because I'm so excited for what could come out tomorrow. You know, as much as I'm excited about seeing what stories there are at the moment, I'm excited for what can come, what is coming, because you never know. Something can change completely. And that's fascinating. I love that. I mean, I have such a problem with it. You know, that's my biggest problem with comics. My biggest problem with comics is that I keep buying first issues of series that are amazing, and I want to buy the trades of because I don't need the individual issues of ones which I just like. And I'm now ending up with like issues 1 to 3 of things, and I'm going, that's amazing. I'm going to buy it in trade because I can't justify every week. That's my biggest problem. It's too much good stuff. So I'm trying to keep on top of it. So yeah, that's why I read comics. My name has been Luke Herbert, and I may do more video responses to these. Please leave in the comments your opinions and thoughts. I'd love to do more content, and I love talking about comics. Okay, so I'll be signing off, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!